Today we are conducting an interview with Baba Awotunde Elebuibon from the Kingdom of Iwori Meji. The topic is Ifa Orisa. Good day, Baba Awotunde. Here's the first question. Here's the first question, Baba. What is the religion called Ifa Orisa about, and how old is it?
Again. First thing first, I really do appreciate people saying religion. Ifa Orisha is not a religion. Ifa Orisha is a traditional African law. I don't believe in religions. Religions were created by man. Laws were created by Olodumare. And to answer the question, how old is Ifa Orisha? Ifa Orisha is as old as time. It is as old as time because everything that is in existence came from Olodumare. For us to say when Olodumare's energy became physical is an impossibility. So it is very hard to give a date to say, well, it's 5,000 years, 10,000 years, 150,000 years old. Ifa Orisha is as old as the universe.
Thank you, Baba. And do you consider it a cult?
A cult, from the European man's perspective, a religious cult is a dangerous thing. A religious cult, we have seen the effects of religious cults with Jimmy Koresh and this guy in Guyana. I can't remember his name right now. But religious cults are dangerous. A religious cult works within the perimeter of a doctrine, again, that was created by humanity. So, Jimmy Koresh and I'm still trying to remember the guy's name. They were religious cult leaders. On the other hand, Ifa Orisha is a culture. A culture is based on the values, traditional laws, morals, governance of a people based on the natural laws of the universe. So there's a great difference between a religious cult and a cultural vibration.
Thank you, Baba. This is the second question. Are there rules that one should follow in Ifa Orisha, such as the Christians having the 10 Commandments?
Yes, there are rules, as anything has rules. I mean, if you don't take care of parts of your body, it's going to start deteriorating. The maintenance of one's vibration is based on taboos. The maintenance of the tradition is based on taboos and what one should not indulge in, which is bringing negativity to another man. Ifa Orisha again we understand the laws of the universe. So we know that there's only one God, there's no devil. We know that there are particular, how I can put it, for want of a better word, ways to iwapele, iwalewa, iwalaye, and yanigidi. So yes, there are regulation and rules, just like the trees has regulation and rules, just like the fishes has regulations and rules. We as humanity, we also have regulation and rules. But the rule and the role of an Ifa Orisha devotee is iwapele, building a gentle and noble character, not just for humanity, but for all of Oludumare's creation.
Okay. And how would you classify iwapele?
What is Iwa? Iwapele, as I said before, is building a gentle and noble character. Iwapele is understanding your role upon this earth. Iwapele is finding self, realizing that you are truly your brother's keeper. Iwapele is understanding that majority of the the good things in life is invisible. Love is expressed. Iwapele also tells you how not to behave, how not to disrespect or bring disregard to humanity and all of God's creation, all of Olodumari's creation. I can't say for Europeans or so. I'm not a European. I don't act like a European. I don't behave like a degenerate. So I understand Iwapele showing love for all of Olodumari's creation. One could be wealthy, one could be poor. You show empathy. You show respect to all of the real humans, which is the Africans.
Okay, Baba. Do you believe religion is plaguing the world today?
There's something that once I said on one of the vines that I was sent out, where I said that religion forever wants to sell you, their version of what life should be. And because of that, they have made this earth into a graveyard. Religion teaches one how to hate. Religion, and again, according to the Christian philosophy, they say one should be their brother's keeper. And when we watch at the ghettos of the world, when we watch at the world today, it is because of religious leaders. Because they never say state and church, they say church and state. Because of religious leaders, the world is in this turmoil today. So yes, I would say religion is not just plaguing the earth, but the ones who created the religions are the ones who benefit the most. And they have enslaved an entire planet based on what they believe or what they perceive as being righteous. But how righteous could it be when humanity is dying because of religion?
And what are your views on a religious person compared to a spiritual person?
Well, as I said before, a religious person is trapped. A religious person is dependent on what the pastor has to say. A religious person is not just trapped, but a religious person is now a slave to what the so-called prophets has to say to him. A spiritual person, on the other hand, is no longer within the confines of man's word. A spiritual person is now free and has access to all of Olodumari's energies. Why? By being spiritual, you are being alive. By being religious, you are dead. So, therefore, if one could understand spirituality, one could respect all of the universal connections and their inner verse, and that will in itself help them to become a better person. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Quite well, actually.
Inshallah.
In Christianity, there's Jesus. In Islam, there's Muhammad. Is there a son of God or a prophet of God in Ifa Orisa?
How we view God, number one, in Ifa Orisa is not how the Christian man view God, or not even how the Muslim man will view God. The Christian man watch at God as a grumpy old man up in heaven, shouting down It's either you become part of my law or you die. Or you go through this whole fiery death. Islam is very, very similar. The Yorubas or the African man view God as everything. If I will say God could create at will, but when we view Olodumare, we view Olodumare as not just an energy far away from us, but when I watch at my sister, when I watch at my omos, when I watch at my brothers, I see God in them. When I watch at the trees and the birds and the bees, I see God in them, because by extension, we are all God having human and animal experiences. We have to remember that, like art, no two strokes is the same. And Olodumare created this tapestry they call the universe that Olodumare is part of. And the reason why I didn't say he is because God was never born through the womb of a woman, so God is neither male nor female. With regards to the prophet, we call Orunmila Baba Ifa. Ifa is the wisdom of Olodumare. But Orunmila, Ifa, is the words and the vibrations of Olodumare. Orunmila is the only energy that could translate everything that Olodumare has to say. In other words, Orunmila is the wisdom of Olodumare. Orunmila knows everything. He knows from the bowels of this earth to the far reaches of this universe. He knows exactly where the stars are and how many miles it is away from us. So in Ifa, we view Orunmila as being the wisdom of Olodumare. We view Shango as being the wrath of Olodumare, the defender of Olodumare. We watch Oshun as being the love of Olodumare. So it is not just watching one superior energy, which we know there's a superior energy, but because that superior energy understand that everything is it, then we must remember that Olodumare is in and with everything. Ashe.
Ashe. So, Baba, how can one learn more about Ifa Orisha?
It's a beautiful question, but it's a question that sometimes tickle me the wrong way. I'll tell you why. You are already living Orisha. You are already living Ifa. Ifa is everything. Ifa is not away from nothing. There's a story behind everything. What people don't do is accept the fact that errors, problems, situations started happening before creation. So it's not to know more about Ifa, is to respect your inner verse, to respect who you are, recognize who you are, and never try to hold on to lies, stories. It will in turn bring you problems. So again, we go back to Iwapele. Again, we go back to Iwalewa, Iwalaye, and Yanigidi. For one to know self is for one to respect all of Olodumare's creation. So for one to know more about Ifa is for one to say, we did not come to the Caribbean as Christians. We did not come to the Caribbean as Muslims. We came from somewhere. Everything has a genesis. And the more you look into self, the more you respect who you are, you will start recognizing that you're already living Ifa, because we all have our verses in a beautiful tradition that they call Ifa. Ashe.
Ashe. What is the purpose of initiation being either onto Ifa or Orisha?
Very well. It goes back to the very thing I said a while ago. The purpose of initiation. I can't walk into any company and just with a uniform on and decide to say I'm part of the company. No, I must go through a process, a rite of passage. Initiation is a rite of passage. It's a saying, I am part of, and I'm telling the world I am part of. It's like when you go to a nation, maybe the United States or England, or even if you don't go, you can identify it by the flag. It's the same thing when one initiates to Ifa, or when one initiates to Osun or Shongo. You now carry Shongo's kele. So you're saying to the world, I am a child of Shongo. I am connected to Shongo. I'm connected to not just the Shongo in me. I'm connected to this vast universe that Shongo is part of. When one initiates Ifa and you carry Ide Ifa, you're saying I am part of a tradition that is as old as the universe. Now I could say I have accepted who I am and I'm going to live as I should. So initiation is a way or a rites of passage and a way to let the wider community know I have accepted who I am because Ifa is who you are.
Ashe. Many people in Trinidad will classify Ifa or Orisa as Obia or Voodoo or Satanism, something like that. Is there a connection? Is it Obia or Voodoo? Or is there a difference?
A very good question. But when you walk into the Catholic Church or the Anglican Church, you'll see a lot of voodoo happening there according to what they say. What they term as being voodoo is a tradition. It's an ancient African tradition as well. What they consider as being Obia in the diaspora, throughout the diaspora, we use something they call Obi. Maybe Obi Banja, Obi Abata. We use Obi. And it was accessible in Trinidad, at least Obi Banja was accessible in Trinidad. So we use Obi to find out, or to consult the oracle, to find out what is going on with our lives, what is happening with our children, what's happening with our neighborhoods. So they brandish it and they call it Obia. I cannot say that the Catholics don't do the same. I cannot say that the Muslims don't do the same because the Muslims have a particular sect that they consult spirits. So the reason we are being blacklisted, or not even blacklist, whitelist, because black is beautiful. Why we are being whitelist is because they can't understand our bathysphere connection. They can't understand these people, why they are so connected and they are not. As our brother said yesterday, it is because of the carbon. It is because of the melanin. We are far more connected than them. So they try to literally make all of our traditions look negative or evil. They will even say that we drink goat blood and we bite off the head of the fowl. But in the Christian philosophy, they kill Jesus every Sunday. In the Muslim philosophy, we have seen through the Wahhabis, through the ISIS movement, we have seen this, where people were beheaded and killed in the most gruesome manner in the name of God. We, the traditional people of Africa, don't believe in human sacrifice. We, the traditional people of Africa, don't believe in taking another man's life. We understand the importance of existence. So they literally allowed our people to fall in love with what they term as being righteous and make our people hate what is truly good for them. So it is like going to Paula Spain and buying KFC and you know it's not good for you. But you have grown so accustomed to eating it that you will eat it nevertheless. It's the same thing that has happened to our people in the Caribbean and throughout America and even in Africa, where they no longer are in love with the universe of which they are part of. They are now in love with something that seemed to be right, but it is as wrong as a no. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you answered my question, Baba. On to the next one. What is a manifestation and how does one get a manifestation?
And if I will say whatever we ask for in our room is what we will get on our year. And being mounted by the spirit or being mounted by an Orisa, some of us asked for that. Some of us didn't. But we are already a manifestation. Your Emmy, your Orino, is already making you, that is what animates the body. So you are already a manifestation. So when one say that they are being mounted by Shongo, or being mounted by Ogun, or being mounted by Osun, or whichever Orisha, in actuality, it is a higher you. Because Ogun or Shongo is already with you. Ogun may be your Olu, Shongo may be your Olu. So the Orishas are already there. Again, it's like going to the doctor and the doctor saying your body is lacking iron. You're lacking Ogun. Your body is lacking water. It's lacking Oshun. So for one to say that how one will go about getting manifestation will come, like it or not, if that is what you ask for. And there's nothing that one could change. Because manifestations, at least long ago, were for the betterment of humanity. When a manifestation talk, you listen, because the wisdom that comes from that person's mouth is beyond human comprehension. So, whatever one asks for in Orun is what they will experience in a year. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, Baba, you did answer my question again. Can being, wait, excuse me, is manifestation considered the same as being possessed?
Again, obsession and possession. When we use the term being possessed, one could be possessed by something that is very, very negative. If I say that sometimes the children of men suffer because of what their foreparents did, if I also say that the river that forgets its course, or the person who forgets the course of the river, will in turn be lost. What has happened, because we are beings that receive good vibrations and also negative, sometimes because of the ills of our foreparents, we are possessed by negative forces we call Yami, Aje. Some people came with that negative vibration, we call them Eleniniaye, or Araye Okori, or Araye Obiri. People who were born to give trouble. So it is only right to say that if we as a people recognize the ills and the problems that our foreparents encountered, some of them by choice and some of them hadn't a choice, Ifa also gives us the ability to correct it. So one could be possessed with forces that will take the money. One could be possessed with forces that will not allow them to learn or to even listen. But again, Ifa is everything. And Ifa also says that there is no complete right way or complete wrong way to do anything. The only vibration who knows everything is Baba Orumela. Hence the reason why we go to Orumela and find out why this person could be possessed by Offer, EP, these negative vibrations that is causing their lives to be upside down. So there's a great difference between manifestation and possession. One, a manifestation is a positive thing. Being possessed is like being possessive. One could be possessive with their children. One could be possessive with land. One could be possessive, but being possessive shows that there is some problem, maybe a genetic problem that could be dealt with, that could now assist this person to become the best that they could be.
A very beautiful answer, Baba. Thank you very much.
Sure.
So, does one have to be an initiate, as we were speaking about earlier, to be mounted by an Orisha?
No. A matter of fact, case in point, my mother was 6 years old. She wasn't initiated to anything, but she came from a Yamonja family, and Yamonja is like the Orisha for the family. No, one doesn't have to be initiated to be possessed, or sorry, go through manifestation. But there's also something called manifestation or initiation by vision, initiation by Orisha, where the Orisha will come and initiate you, where in vision, the Orishas can initiate you as well. At that time, in those days, there was particular ceremonies that was done. We must consider at all times that everything in this universe is related. The sun is related to the moon, the earth is related to the sun, the water is related to the earth. Everything is related. We are related to everything. So we are everything. And being everything, we must consider, as you were saying, if one has to be initiated. Initiation is a way of saying that I am part of. A way for one to know their true purpose. But your purpose is already with you.
Sure.
Your reason for existence is already coded in your DNA. So initiation that just clears the cloud or clears the water, so one will see things better from a different perspective. So that's the purpose of initiation. Rites of passage, but what you were born with is what you will always have.
Ashe. What is divination, Baba?
Divination, divine intervention. Arumela, Baba Ifa, Arumela told Shungo to go and find the biggest otter. He told Oshun, bring the fanciest pot. He told Ogun to bring the nicest Ada. They all went, and when they came back, Arumela already had what he sent them for. And they realized the problem, the problem or the answer was not what we brought back, but the journey. Life is a journey. Life is not just getting up in the morning and walking on the road and coming back home. Divine intervention allows the journey through life to be much easier. So that's the reason why we do divination. Arumela knows everything. But we, as mere humans, we don't know much as Arumela. Some of us will ask, what is the reason why I'm alive? Arumela will say, true Ifa. Arumela will let you know, this is the reason why you're alive. This is the reason why this has to happen. This is the reason why that has to happen. So we have access to 100% of Oludumari's laws, true Ifa. Life is a dimensional thing. It's not just one dimension. As I say, it's over 256 main dimensions and hundreds of millions of roads. We may not be able to walk the hundreds of millions of roads, but trust me, we go through these dimensions. Through divine intervention, we know why we are here and what road will bring us success, happiness, peace, and prosperity.
Ashe. So basically, what you're telling me, Baba, is that divination could be considered as fortune telling.
I would not say that.
Why is
For,
that?
because fortune telling is one dimension. Fortune telling is one dimension. Somebody tell you go fall down tomorrow, or you had a problem 2 years ago, or your favorite color is green. That's fortune telling. Or you will have a nice life tomorrow. That's fortune telling. Ifa is nowhere close to fortune telling. Ifa tells you what is going on in your inner verse and what is going on external. Ifa tells you, or through Baba Orumila, they say Orumila Baba Ifa. Ifa lets you know everything about your existence. Fortune telling is one dimension. Traditional Ifa is 256 dimensions. That in itself is of no comparison. Through divine intervention, there are different roads. One may hear when Opele or Opuifa, one may see Ogbe Yonu, Ogbe Suru, Ogbe Ogunda. Each one may sound the same, but one may be about herbs. One may be about the person not having enough patience. One may be about the person being too aggressive. So that is not close to fortune telling. Ifa is like going to the ultimate doctor who will tell you what is going on externally and what is going on internally. A matter of fact, Ifa is the greatest doctor.
Ashe. Alright. Do you believe that the devil is more prominent in the world today, Baba?
Number one, I believe in nothing. To believe in anything is to still have doubt. I try to understand as much as my time will permit me. And I always say I know enough to say I know nothing at all. But when it comes to this big dark man they call the devil, he was reverse engineered. If I have to compare anything to the devil, I will compare Europe and America and whites to the devil. Simply saying that the devil is not a grumpy, fire-toting man or energy in this place they call hell. The devil is the Europeans who enslaved my people for things that they never possess, that they could never possess, which is love, truth, and life. They can't possess it. So I cannot say that the devil exists. In hell, the devil is walking around this earth, and the devil is called white people.
Good answer. So can you say that there are other religions like Ifa, or other religions are similar to Ifa?
Throughout Africa, there's a similarity in all cultural laws. And that similarity, or that commonality, is the respect for nature, the respect for the unseen world or the unseen universe, respect for life, respect for all of the the energies that we see, maybe a dog or a cat, it's a living being. The voodoo people, the Bantus, even the Egyptians, they all show respect for Mother Nature or the universe of which we are part of literally. So yes, there are similarities. There's similarity in plenty of African people culture. A lot of similarities. Even the ones who we educate, like the Chinese, the Japanese, they show respect for nature and also the ancestral vibration. So I will say yes. There's a lot of similarity, but to me, there's only one Ifa.
Ashe. That was a lovely answer, Baba. So, Baba, do you believe that if us as African people know and live the true laws and values of Ifa Orisha, that the world will be a better place?
Of course, of course, of course, of course. I am sure of it. Ifa always say, love conquers everything. If I fellow Joe, aye, we need more love upon this earth. And that is what we have. You know, in the Christian philosophy, as our brother was saying yesterday again, in the Christian philosophy, they always say, love your brother as you love yourself. We are the only people who ever showed love to all of humanity. And because they never experienced what we experience, which is true love, they took our kindness for weakness. So I think the world will be a much better place if people understand the fundamentals of Ifa, the truths of Ifa, and realize that they are already living Ifa. It is only a case of turning the knob in the direction of happiness, peace, and prosperity, and moving away from all these religious values that is making our people become spiritually dead. I must conclude by saying that when we see what light is, it's like the chicken coming out of the egg. When we understand what Esentai is, we're putting our feet on the ground for the first time, we have that connection with the earth that in time we will learn how to walk. But like seeing that light and putting your feet on the ground for the first time, you will not want to go back into the egg, or will not want that light to ever get dim. The light is Olodumare. And being children of that light, we are also little mini lights upon this earth. When we realize that we are lights upon this earth, we will be in a position to shine and bring clarity, transparency, and love to our fellow men.
Ashe.
Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe.
Thank you for this lovely interview, Baba, and this insight
It's
into
a pleasure.
Ifa
It's a pleasure.
and Orisha.
It's a pleasure.